wrestling fans. Great news! The Suplah is going live next Wednesday at livestream.com/thesuplah.
Indeed, we'll be doing it next Wednesday, 8 p.m. GMT, 3 p.m. Eastern Time for all you Americans out there. And bonus deal, we're going to be doing call-ins.
And if you ever wanted to wear a John Cena t-shirt and you're from England, you've got the chance, because if you call into the Suplah on Skype and give us an interesting question, we'll pull your name out of the hat and you can win a Hustle, Loyalty and Respect shirt. How about that?
Yeah, it's great. So, if you like John Cena, or don't, and you just like the Suplah, make sure you tune in next Wednesday at whatever time it is for you, and we will see you there.
And now, from England, to the Wrestling Pundit podcast.
Good evening, everyone. Welcome along to another episode of the Wrestling Pundit podcast on WrestlingPundit.com and YouTube.com/the Suplah podcast. And this week, I'm joined once again by Carmine Antonelli.
I just don't go away, do I?
And Sam Brooks.
Yeah, I'm still here as well. Hey.
How's everybody doing this fine evening?
I am not wearing any pants, so I'm good.
I am wearing pants, and I'm doing just fine.
Yeah, my pants are on. Is there any particular reason why you're not wearing any pants?
Is there any particular reason why you are wearing pants?
Because
Yeah, he's got you there.
Because there are females in my house.
That'll do it.
Yeah, you're excused. You're excused.
And I'm in a shed, so I'd have to walk through the garden, and people have windows.
Unfortunately.
There are children in my house, so I want to keep pants on.
Anyway, this is
Moving
a
on.
podcast, not a pants podcast.
Can we make a pants podcast?
I guess you could.
Is that a thing? Would people listen to that?
Trust me,
podcast?
there's podcasts on everything.
The pants cast.
So this week we'll be discussing the pros and cons of jeans.
Oh, they made a denim sturdy material.
If we started a pants podcast, though, I'm pretty sure we'd probably be in the top 5. So
Hopefully.
maybe it's a good idea.
I'd aim to say top 3, maybe 2.
Ooh, it's aiming high. It's aiming high.
There's not
Anyway.
that much competition in the pants podcast industry.
The first thing that I wanted to get to today, and we've talked about this off air on our little Facebook thing, but what the hell is Seth Rollins wearing? Is he Batman?
He has new pants.
Now, when I first saw the pictures, the camera angle made it look like it was just his normal clothes, just soaked in water, because sometimes wrestlers just fucking do that. Look at Bo Dallas. It's a straight up, like, suit of armor almost.
And it looks kind of cool, I think.
A little bit.
I mean, it has the look of like a 80s, 90s kind of sci-fi Doctor Who Gladiators kind of look about it. I mean, maybe that's just me seeing it weird, but it looks pretty
Seeing that
different.
picture of him walking out on SmackDown is just like, I'm just expecting him to stick his arms out and be like, "Are you not entertained?"
Something
full
about
on.
it, like, I could see it from an ironic, kind of geeky, this is a cool thing to wear perspective. But he's a heel, and I'm not sure whether he's going for the cartoony heel or a really serious heel. I'm not sure whether it necessarily works. I guess.
Well, I don't know if you can be a serious villain and wear a belt buckle that looks like it came straight out of He-Man.
Yeah.
Well, I
You seen that thing?
mentioned this on Twitter, but I don't know if either of you are familiar with Supernova from the original ECW, but he kind of looks like that. I mean, he always
familiar.
reminded me of the guy anyway. They kind of look the same. This is Simon Dean when he was in WWE. But back when Simon Dean was in ECW, he had the long hair, had the facial hair, and he had like a superhero outfit. But when he first started, he kind of looked like Seth Rollins in this outfit. So,
Huh.
Don't know where.
Well, I mean,
Yeah, I
like,
just
it's
googled
not-
him and I can only see images of him as the Blue World Order or whatever it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, he used to wear kind of black to start with before he was anything important, I think. But
Oh yeah, I see what you mean.
Before he was a famous blue meanie.
before he was pretending to be, who was he pretending to be when they did the Blue Wall? Was he Macho Man?
I don't even know.
God,
Probably.
Then he became a fitness freak and got fired. So there you go.
I'm sure that's the reason he got fired. Couldn't have been anything else.
No.
Anyway, the outfit's not that bad. It's just, it's a bit weird.
I guess we'll have to see how he just pulls it off. Like, it's not even been on TV yet.
But speaking of new
have
outfits
those
and
ones.
Shield guys, fucking John Moxley showed up on Raw.
Oh yeah, we all loved it. It was brilliant.
No, that's not sarcasm. Like, that's legit awesome.
No, it's really good because ever since Dean Ambrose has shown up in the company, I've always wanted him to just go crazy, go back to his Ring of Honor Dark Knight gimmick, and he's getting there. He's finally getting there.
Oh
Did-
yeah.
Did
talking
he
to his
always
own hand.
wrestle in? Like, I understand that he's kind of this loner guy, a bit of a freak or whatever, and fair enough, wearing kind of street clothes. But why do they have to be neatly pressed jeans and a nice fitting brand new black tank top? Like, I can understand if it's like torn denim jeans or something, but I don't know. I'm not really feeling it right now.
Well,
But
he
I
never
don't
even
really
used to
know what
wrestle
he
in
used to
street
wear.
clothes.
So
He used to wear just regular black trunks when he was John Moxley in places like Ring of Honor, CZ Dub, all those kind of places. So
Yeah.
I don't know. It might just be a temporary thing, but either way, I don't really mind. Street gear is a refreshing thing because not that many other people on the roster right now have it on them.
No. And just gear aside, he could wear whatever the fuck he wants. I'm just so happy John Moxley's basically in WWE right now.
I know, it's brilliant.
Dean was always my favorite Shield member. And towards the end of the Shield's run, you could definitely see the crazy coming out. And, oh, it's in full effect now, and it's amazing.
he's the lunatic fringe.
What does that even mean?
It means
that
he's
nickname?
fringy and loony.
I believe I've mentioned this before. I thought it was just talking about his haircut.
Maybe.
Look at that fringe waving around.
Oh, it's lunatic. Oh,
He's got some pretty crazy hair.
he's got the whole crazy in his hair.
But it's good. It's good stuff. But
We like it.
as much as Rollins and Ambrose's looks and everything have changed, Reigns is pretty much the same. And it works.
Yeah, I mean,
why would you change something that's already good?
what I don't understand is, unless I missed something, I mean, I watched Raw, I think I watched SmackDown. When did they decide that we're kind of not buddies no more? We're just going to like have our own theme songs? And was that a thing,
Well, I
or was it
think
just
it's,
something that's happened?
I think it's when they decided to each pursue different people, because when they had their final promo on Raw, well, it's now their final promo, it was Dean basically going after Seth and Roman going after Triple H and the Authority. So now that they've kind of parted ways in that respect, it's better to make a distinction between them.
And they've done this in actually a very smart way, because I think it's good that Dean and Roman kind of stop associating with each other in this way, because it leaves the opportunity for them to pair up again in the future, because they never really broke up. They just said, I'm going to go after Seth, you do what you want. And he's like, okay, I'm going to go after the title and Triple H. It's like,
There
all
you
right,
go.
that works. Don't get me wrong, I'm sure if Reigns and Rollins are standing in the same room, Reigns isn't going to be too happy. But that's not his main focus.
You can see why they're each going after like each individual person, because when Seth attacked the Shield with the chair, it was mainly Ambrose that he just put a beating to, and Triple H, like, he's the one who clearly influenced Seth to do all of this, and Reigns can see that, so he's going after the source. Dean is just Dean, and he's crazy, and he's like, ah.
Yeah. And also, even back to where it was Shield versus Evolution, Triple H was always targeting Reigns anyway. So,
Yeah,
makes
basically.
sense.
I did like the Seth Rollins promo where he kind of alluded to how Dean Ambrose is kind of a loose cannon, and that, oh, you know, now I'm gone, how are they gonna rein that guy in? And now they are kind of split, and Ambrose is kind of doing his own thing. It kind of just, you know, adds that extra bit to his character.
Yeah. And as long as we're talking about the Shield, because I don't see this coming up anywhere else on our topic list, should we mention the fact that Money in the Bank has changed as far as the match card goes, as since our latest video, which was the Raw review anyway, and what we think should go from there?
Well, we've got 2 ladder matches now, so...
Yes, they finally announced a traditional Money in the Bank ladder match for a briefcase. And the first participant was announced along with that, and it is Seth Rollins.
And you know who announced all of this?
Seth Rollins.
On Main Event.
Which was weird.
What the fuck?
I found this announcement on accident.
Yeah, I had no idea this even happened until like a day or 2 after it happened. Like, I don't know anyone who watches Main Event. I don't even know what happens on Main Event.
Well, I think the thing is, over the last couple of weeks, and since it's been on the network, they've started to add more and more important things to the show, you know, more important main events. And I think they're slowly trying to make it a more important show. Yeah, they'll obviously recap it on SmackDown and Raw and whatever.
Yeah.
But
I guess. Now comes the question of, since Seth is the only person announced for that match, who else would you put in there?
There have been a lot of names thrown about, and I think we can easily pinpoint a few of them.
Like Dolph Ziggler.
Dean Ambrose.
Yes.
Quite
Probably Rob
possibly
Van Dam.
Well,
Dallas.
the roster's not even that big. Like, if you take the first match and you've got all the bland main eventers like Sheamus and Orton and all that, then who else is going in there? They've just fired everybody else. So.
This is the point that I made, because now that they have literally all of their main event talent in the main ladder match, and now they're going to have pretty much all of their good mid-card talent in the secondary match, this is just going to be a very short nothing pay-per-view, because
no
other
more
than a
matches.
Divas match, what else can they do?
Yeah, we talked about this in the chat. There was the tag team title match, the Divas title match,
Yeah.
then the 2 ladder matches.
What the fuck else can you do? Because literally all of the rivalries that we've seen on the past pay-per-views, all of the participants of those are in the Money in the Bank ladder match. So what are you going to do?
Unless they're in the match, you could always have a Bo Dallas match, an Adam Rose match. Maybe do something with Stardust and Goldust. I mean, not every match has to be important necessarily.
Rusev's probably going to have a match.
I would have put him in Money in the Bank myself.
I think
Maybe.
Rusev was quite impressive in the Battle Royal.
Yeah.
I think people often, when they see this kind of gimmick, they think, oh, it's just another guy. He's got 4 moves. He's got no charisma. Doesn't know what he's doing. But I think he's actually got some athleticism there. And
those spinning heel kicks and super kicks that you see little people like Tyler Breeze doing, and then big old Rusev's throwing them out. It's like, dude, that's awesome.
Yeah, he's just Russian Kurt Angle without the charisma. Like, as soon as he gets, I don't know, a personality outside of his valet and his dictator, then maybe he'll be a pretty good main eventer in the future, provided he isn't crushed by Cena.
I tell you who is Kurt Angle. Bo Dallas.
Kurt Angle.
Bo Dallas. If you go back and watch when Kurt Angle first debuted in WWE, where he's like the good guy, all-American gold medalist who was completely oblivious to the fact that people hated him. It's the same kind of build as they did with Kurt Angle to begin with. I'm not saying Bo Dallas is necessarily an amazing amateur wrestler or anything, but I think it's a formula that will work in the end.
He's got this weird personality combination of Kurt Angle and Chris Jericho. And I only say that because if anyone has seen...
Ask him!
Those clips of Bo Dallas being escorted out of NXT...
It's literally like Chris Jericho.
It's fucking hysterical. He's kicking and screaming with these fucking security guards holding him in a golf cart.
I gotta go in the bathroom! I gotta go in the bathroom!
Let me pee.
Press a brick!
Let me pee.
Oh, they should
escape.
they should totally give him Ralphus as like a not a bodyguard, but somebody that who's into the believe thing, and he's going to turn Ralphus around and get him to like I don't know, like a DDP yoga kind of style.
But yeah, they're like carrying him off, and he's trying to rip off security guard's shirt. I'm gonna get your shirt. I got your shirt. I'll call the real police. It's so great. And
he's got all the makings that it takes to be a great future star. The only thing is, when the fuck is he gonna get there? Because he's progressing at glacial rates now.
Mm-hmm.
Like, he's not really doing anything other than having a match with someone, hugging them afterwards. It's like he's not really doing anything.
They're just establishing his gimmick right now.
Yeah, I think the problem now is they've got so many guys with potential that who is going to fill those positions? It's a competition now. It's not just everybody's going to get there because there's only so many slots. So, I think it'd be interesting to see how it all develops with Adam Rose and Bo Dallas, and we've got the Shield breakup now. There's only so many positions.
I can tell you one thing. I don't see this title unification lasting too many more years. They're going to get to the point where they're going to need 2 main event championships again.
Oh, God, no.
But if they have enough main event talent, they can make the 2 belts work.
Or they keep the title unification and have a 3rd mid-card title.
Or they just use the mid-card titles, like actually defend them and things.
And they can put some of these talents into good tag teams and make the tag team division mean shit again.
Well, they've just released a pretty decent bottom level tag team, so. But anyway, we won't jump to that yet. We were supposed to be discussing who we think's going to win the ladder matches, so.
Yeah,
who's going to win?
Okay, it's pretty obvious who's going to win the Money in the Bank one.
Seth Rollins.
Is it though?
Yeah, Seth Rollins is definitely winning that.
I wouldn't say it's obvious at this point, but yeah, if it's the right thing to do, make Rollins win it.
Because now, with him in the Money in the Bank match and Reigns in the title match, I'd say one of the simplest things to do is let Rollins win Money in the Bank, let Reigns win the title, and I don't know if it'll be the same night or the night after on Raw or maybe the week later, but something's going to happen where Triple H maybe pedigrees Roman Reigns, Seth Rollins cashes in, and then at Battleground you get your championship rematch. Maybe another pedigree. Something has, for some reason or another, Rollins retains.
I don't think
wrestling's a disagreement from Keelan.
No, I think it's one option. I think that's one. I think there's so many different ways they can go with it that no single idea is necessarily wrong. But I would like to see that play out a bit longer than just like the next night or the next week.
Well, the feud between Rollins and Reigns would play out. It's just don't expect Reigns' championship run to be that long. I
also think though they could give it to Bray Wyatt and just go off and do it that way.
What?
And then if Bryan returns, then you can rekindle that thing.
There were talks of that.
But one of the rumors is Reigns versus Triple H for SummerSlam. So this thing with Rollins and Triple H screwing Reigns out and helping out his new buddy Rollins would help you get to that point.
But then there's the ever pertinent question of where does Dean Ambrose fit in all of this if he's meant to be going after Rollins?
He could still be running in every now and again. That Rollins and Ambrose is one of those feuds where you can put it on hold for like a couple months and then restart it whenever you want. That feud, you could go on for years with that feud on and off.
They did in the developmental leagues.
Exactly. Anytime you want, you can just put it on hold.
And I don't think there's necessarily a rush with any of these things because they're all amazing in the ring. Well, Roman Reigns maybe not quite there yet, but there's so many combinations of feuds and matches that are all going to be good. We don't have to see them all right now. They can draw it out a little bit and make a bit of money doing it.
And that's why I think Bray Wyatt should be something that Bryan fights later for the championship.
But I also think Cesaro
in the future
could quite easily win that match and it makes sense and be fine. So
one of my friends had a weird theory about Cesaro.
Please tell.
My friend, he's a Brock Lesnar fan.
Okay.
So he visioned that Brock Lesnar would be in this ladder main event match.
Well, Lesnar has to come back at some point, so it's going to happen.
Yeah, and that Cesaro would be in the briefcase match. But now that that's kind of not happening, he would say if there's going to be a ladder match and they announce all of the participants for the briefcase match, on the night that it happens, Lesnar comes back, takes out one of the participants, puts himself in the match, wins the briefcase, Cesaro wins the titles, Lesnar cashes in. There you go.
All of these,
it's a stretch.
All of these scenarios, I'm quite happy with. I think for the first time in a long while, like this match, it's just interesting to see, and I'm going to be happy with multiple different endings. It's not something where I'm going to go, oh fuck's sake. As long as Sheamus or Randy Orton doesn't win, then I'll be quite happy.
Or Del Rio.
I think Paul Heyman had the best line on Raw. He was like, oh my god, Sheamus could win, not Sheamus.
That's basically what everyone feels as well. It's like, no, not this guy.
Anyone but him.
I think even Del Rio would be a bit better. Unless there were two evils.
Every time they put a belt on him, it's like, oh, this could be exciting. Oh, it's not. Oh.
He's just totally lost his character. Just go back to his snazzy car and be more arrogant, and it'll be fine.
Yeah. Because it's like when he got the WWE Championship, it was like, oh, this could be really cool. It wasn't as cool. And then he got the World Heavyweight Championship from Big Show, and he turned face, and it's like, oh, this could be really cool. It wasn't that cool.
No.
And then he turned heel again when he won it from Ziggler, and it's like, oh, everyone's just mad at him now.
Because he kicked him in the head in a fight.
Oh my god, he won the match. Boo.
Yeah, but he won the match against everyone's favorite Dolph Ziggler. So boo. But I just... Yes, these are all good options, but I think with Rollins being like on this pedestal that he's on and just like on fire, it'd be a shame to pass up a Bryan and Rollins feud right now.
I guess we don't know Bryan's actual status yet.
Well, that's why
some people have speculated that he could actually return in some way and end up in the match, or
no, it's too soon, I think.
Yeah,
like they could be fooling us and that he's not actually that injured and all this other nonsense.
Well, I think here's the thing: if he's not actually that injured, keep him out until SummerSlam. Don't let him fight again until SummerSlam. Let the storyline progress without him. That's why I'm saying Battleground, the main event, should be Rollins and Reigns. That'd be an amazing main event.
It'd be better than last year's Battleground.
Yeah.
Then again, much things are a lot better than last year's Battleground.
Yeah, and then...
It's not hard to be better than shit.
Because when you look at the top faces and heels in WWE right now, Bryan is obviously the top face. Reigns is right behind him. And Rollins is the top heel. So with number one face being out of action right now, putting Rollins with Reigns makes the most sense. Then when Bryan comes back, you have number one versus number one.
Yeah.
But it's a question of how long will he stay at number one.
Who?
Well, either of them, really.
Well,
because you got to think about it. Rollins may be the number one heel at the moment, but there's nothing that says he might be usurped in that position by someone else who turns heel.
Sure, but then that falls into the responsibility of the writing department.
Which is a bit lacking recently.
Especially because someone just got canned. Should we just go into that?
Okay, speaking of people that got canned, I know you guys covered on Raw on the review show, and I totally agree that the whole Vicky Guerrero, Roman Reigns thing, completely ridiculous, no logic. Reigns is supposed to be this face that women like, but he's targeting this poor woman. And then he's also supposed to be the cool guy, but he's acting like Dennis the Menace, like pulling pranks.
I never looked at it that way before. He's the guy that women love, and on Raw, he drugged a woman.
Right.
What?
And he manipulated a woman who's already being pushed through the shit by the authority. So
Tumblr is so mad right now. You have no idea.
But
feminists are all over Roman Reigns.
we may be able to shed some light on that because Vince McMahon recently fired the head writer, somebody called Jay Gibson, and the word was basically that on Raw, because of this firing and a bit of a shake-up, Vince was more hands-on with the script. And we know how Vince likes men running around with oil and stupid bullshit. So basically Vince booked something that he could laugh at to himself, and he thought, ha ha ha, vomit. And that's why we got this thing.
We're gonna have my daughter projectile vomit up a bathroom. Ah!
She's gonna puke.
She's gonna puke.
They say Austin 316. I say puke 316. Ah!
I like your evil laugh for Vince.
Brilliant.
It's just the stupidest. We went into depth on how many plot holes there were in this series of segments. Like, if Vince did this just for the lulz, then that makes so much sense.
Yeah, he's done that over the years quite a lot of times.
Hey,
Like
you know what's
with the hand
funny?
thing.
If Mark Henry impregnates Mae Young and gives birth to a hand.
And then 20 years later, we make a callback. Ha 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 ha! It's fun, isn't it funny, guys?
I want the midget Irishman to be my son.
He's gonna be a midget. Ah!
It was just one of those stupid moments that people are going to look back on fondly, but now, while we're here, we can tell you it's stupid.
This is the
It's
problem, though. Roman Reigns' character, because he's not necessarily the most charismatic, he's not the most natural on the mic, he's not necessarily the best in the ring, they've got to tread lightly on what he does. And something stupid like that, like if you did that a couple more times, he's just going to look like a complete dork. Like, just be careful with him. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
The hopes are this is just going to be a one-time thing, that Vince isn't going to get his in the product any more than he has to. And you really like that, don't you?
Something about just a quick, like, I don't know. It's really funny to me.
But anyway, yeah, as long as it's just a one-time thing, he's fine. And if he gets a couple of not acting lessons, but because he's not the worst. I mean, we've definitely seen worse on the microphone. He knows how to talk.
He knows how to play up to the female audience.
Oh yeah, and that's where you get the winnings from. But yeah, if he brushes up quite a bit, then there's gonna be no problem in the future.
Mm-hmm. He's one day gonna be like top man in the company.
He's the successor to John Cena, most definitely.
Hopefully better, but
Well, anything's better.
I look at him as the refined version of what Batista should have been. A younger, better looking, not as fucking molded out of rock, but you know, he obviously works out, but like he's what Batista could have been.
it's kind of like this mix of what Cena was at first, mixed with what Batista should have been, mixed with like The Rock.
Here's a fun fact. Roman Reigns has the same height and weight.
Yeah, he's not that
as
big.
Someone else on the roster. He is pretty much the same by numbers as Brock Lesnar.
Really?
Really?
Yeah,
I
same
was
height.
thinking he's
same
going to
weight,
say
last time I
something
read.
like,
Cesaro.
yeah, like because he looks tall. He carries himself like this big guy, but when he's in the ring with other people, it's like, oh, he's not really that.
He's not that much bigger than anyone else on the roster. I mean, he's big and he's the muscle and everything, but he's not.
I definitely remember reading somewhere that by numbers, maybe not exactly, but he is pretty much the same dimensions as Brock Lesnar.
That doesn't add up in my head.
Probably because Brock Lesnar is wide. He's wide, and like Reigns
Yeah.
is kind of. He looks tall.
I always thought like the two guys who were identical in structure were Reigns and Cesaro. And that one day that has to be a main event championship match is Reigns versus Cesaro. That just has to happen someday.
I always looked at it like he carries himself like Kevin Nash, but
A
he's
little bit.
actually more like Rhino in terms of kind of height. I don't know.
Reigns is just
He's
the
just
weirdest
relevant and
combination of
helpful.
everyone.
He comes from the big family though, doesn't he? So
Yeah, the big
Scott-
Samoan family.
He's got the history. Maybe they're thinking this is the next Rock kind of guy.
That's,
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's kind of what he always reminded me of.
And it's
He's
funny
the
to think
brother.
that his brother is Rosie.
What?
The most obscure member of the Reigns family.
Do you remember
Like,
Rosie?
wow.
No.
Rosie and Hurricane, the superhero. The big guy.
Oh, God!
The big fat guy who was also in 3 Minute Warning with Roman Reigns' uncle, who then went on to be Umaga.
That's his brother?
Yeah.
Yep.
Holy shit.
So one got the Samoan genes and the other one fucking
Got
hit
the
weight
Rock
class.
genes. Wow, that's funny.
And the Usos are his cousins. Who'd have thought?
That's just such a family. Like, the family reunions, there must be so much fun.
Yeah.
But
Just have power bombs everywhere.
we were on the topic of a head writer getting fired. A lot of other
Yeah.
people got fired, too.
God, yeah. Speaking
Oh.
of releases, I like doing my little Andy thing there. Speaking of things, we haven't really had a chance to talk about this yet on any of the shows, but unless you've been living under a rock, or living under the rock, hi-oh,
Okay.
Just like off in the background.
they, okay, here we go. Here's the list. JTG is gone. Oh my god.
Wow,
Oh,
God, that was
God.
7. He was employed for like 7.5 years. Do you realize that?
Yeah.
And he was relevant for 2 of them.
Yeah.
Drew McIntyre and Jinder Mahal, they're gone.
Ugh, the chosen one and the Indian one.
Wow.
Because remember when he debuted, that's all he was a rich Indian guy?
Yeah, he was the chosen
And he, like-
Indian one.
The great Khali was going to marry his sister or something. I don't know.
No, he was going to marry Kali's sister. No, he was married to Kali's sister, and he was threatening to divorce her?
Oh, so this wasn't like an
Khali his
arranged
whipping
marriage
boy.
or anything.
No, like he was basically threatening Kali with bankrupting him. I think.
How the fuck do we remember this?
I remember too much.
Anyway,
It's not important. He's gone.
let's go down the list, then we can probably tackle each one if we want to.
They're more well known as 3MB, actually, to be honest.
Yeah, two MB have gone. Oksana, who has been there a long time, if you think about it. She did SmackDown commercials for like a year, just weird, sexy SmackDown commercials. Then she was Teddy Long's kind of thing on the side. Then
And
she
she
learned,
debuted Cesaro.
yeah. Then
Yep.
she actually learned to wrestle and
Kind of.
came out to like a piano.
Tried to get a work visa from Goldust.
What?
That was in NXT.
Oh.
But Teddy Long is
Yeah.
also gone, so
Oh.
maybe they can rekindle their storyline on the Indies. Who knows?
Who's gonna book the tag matches now?
Hold on a minute, player.
Yeah, that's the end of the tag division.
That was the signifying the end of the tag division. Yep.
Oh, I'm so disappointed we never got a Booker T versus Teddy Long match. That was
I'm
boring.
Kind of glad that never happened.
You know it's the Mac Militant. Come in and get it all.
Everybody has had this theme song.
Like for sure.
Kurt Hawkins is gone.
Oh.
Camacho has done pretending to be Mexican. He's gone. He's also related to Roman Reigns, I think.
Really?
No, he's not.
He's
There's no
somebody's
way.
son.
He's not.
Yes, everyone
Samoan,
is somebody's child.
He's Tonganese, which is.
Oh, they're the
probably
people.
ethnicity.
Oh, that's that guy that pretended he was part of the. Oh, okay, never mind.
Yeah.
Brodus Clay, Evan Bourne, Yoshi Tatsu, and referee Mark Harris, who was the guy that botched the sharpshooter.
A moment of silence.
And we're done.
Okay. Main event player's gone.
No.
Air Boom's gone. Well, not Air Boom because Kofi Kingston's still there, but
The boom is the air is gone.
the air is out of Air Boom. Now it's
Yeah.
just Booms.
Boom, boom, boom.
Let me hear you say, well,
Hey.
My main problem with these releases, I mean, if you think about it, why have they just got rid of all the jobbers?
yeah, the jobber division is gone.
I hate the way that WWE always puts top star versus top star every week, or mid-card guy against mid-card guy. And because they want to keep everybody looking strong, they have to find some kind of backhanded way to get out of the match. Like, oh, Seth Rollins interfered this week when it was Ambrose versus Barrett. There's no reason why they should have even been facing each other. Why couldn't Barrett squash Camacho and Ambrose has a squash match against like JTG or something? So they've just got rid of the people that can help develop the new people that have just come in.
I understand the logic, but also you have the point of, oh, this guy isn't strong at all. He's just squashing jobbers. Maybe he should face better people on a frequent basis.
Look at Rusev.
Yeah.
That's what he's going through right now. Look at what Ryback did forever.
Ugh.
It doesn't work anymore. People just see, oh, Zack Ryder, he's not a threat. If he doesn't win this match, it's ridiculous.
Yeah, but it's at least a way to start the characters. Like, I think there's something to be said when there's so many... It's this 50-50 booking thing where nobody's no one's a top star because everybody just loses to everybody else, and it's just like, oh, I win this week, you win that week. It just doesn't seem to, especially in the mid card, like the Intercontinental title kind of stuff. It's like, oh, I'm the champion, I'm gonna lose to my challenger, and then my challenger's gonna face me at the pay-per-view, then I'm gonna beat him, and no one's better off for it. Like, I think fans like who they like. If you bring out the people they like, and then they go through all their signature moves, everybody's happy, and they've won a match. It doesn't matter that it's against the jobber, because at the pay-per-view you build up to the matches where you have a mid-card guy against a mid-card guy, or a top guy against a top guy. And they've just completely cut everyone who can actually job to people.
Yeah, but then you're still always going to get that guy who, it's like John Cena versus Kurt Hawkins, and Kurt Hawkins loses, and that guy's like, why are they making Kurt Hawkins a jobber? He should be WWE champion. It's like, those people will always exist, and you'll never be able to shut them up, because even if Kurt Hawkins starts squashing everybody, the people he's squashing, now they deserve to be champion because they're fucking the best person ever, and they're a jobber.
But here's the thing. The people on this list, aside from maybe like 2 or 3 of them, none of them were on TV anyway.
Yeah. Evan Bourne has been off TV since 2011.
Yeah, he got drugged up a couple of times, and then he broke his foot in like 5 places, so there was nothing making him.
Yeah, and he was supposed to return about 20 times, and it never happened.
Yeah. Yep. Never happened.
They could easily just have, why not bring Evan Bourne back for a couple of weeks and let Bo Dallas beat him? If you're going to fire him, why do they have to just be in no man's land?
The main ones that I don't get why they did it was Kurt Hawkins and Camacho.
Yeah.
Because Camacho apparently had quite a thing backstage at NXT.
Well, they never even gave him a gimmick. He was just a guy on a bike, and then Sin Cara fucked up. So they never even gave him a chance, really.
Yeah, but he was in this thing with Adam Rose, so he was kind of part of the thing, and then he's just gone. Kurt Hawkins, he had quite a while left on his contract before he was meant to be released, so he's just gone for no reason.
Yep.
Well, that's another thing. There was a policy that WWE brought in maybe a year ago where they decided, instead of releasing people and just cutting their contracts, we're going to just let them ride out their contracts for as long as we've signed them for. And that was supposedly why JTG was around for so long, because he obviously signed a long contract. But all of a sudden, I guess because of this stock crash, they're trying to cut costs, or at least make it look like they're trying to cut costs, so they got rid of the apparent deadwood.
Yeah, it's a shame about Brodus Clay as well, because he's been in a lot of interviews recently, and it's said that the Funkasaurus thing was never really meant to be his thing. He was just meant to be a generic monster.
Yeah.
And it's like, you gotta think what their mindset is. Like, they get signed, they train up under the assumptions that they're gonna be something. Out of left field, they come out as another thing, do that for a while, then they just lose all of their steam because the popularity died out, and they get released. And it's like, well, what was the point of any of it?
Yeah, well, that's the thing. It's not Brodus Clay's fault that they made him this crazy dancer guy. And it's not even that it wasn't over. They just decided, we're going to end this now. We're going to try and push Xavier Woods, and that just all fucked up anyway.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah, really.
they turned Brodus Clay heel, and they didn't even give him a chance to be a heel. So
No, he was on main event a couple of times, and then, sorry, no.
and it's not like there's not room for a monster. You can't have Kane in the company for another 10 years.
Yeah.
Like, someone's got to replace him. I know Rusev is kind of doing that as well, but there's more than enough room for a couple of monsters on the card.
Yeah.
Speaking of Kane, I think we need another, like, gimmick like that. Even though it's kind of goofy, kind of comic bookish, like, almost outdated, but really, he's quite unique in terms of gimmicks on the roster.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, we don't
aside
have...
from, like, maybe the Ascension and NXT, we don't really have much else other than that.
Yeah, wrestling's kind of lost that. There was always a mysterious character, like a Mankind, or like you say, when Kane came in, there was always somebody, or even back in the day, like the Missing Link or whatever. There was always somebody that was a bit mysterious, bit of a monster, bit dark in the way they, carried themselves and whatever. But that's just kind of gone. Everything's more, I guess you could say it's more realistic, but there's always room for something like that, I think.
As far as the next mysterious big man like Kane,
I guess Bray Wyatt is.
Not Bray Wyatt, but either Luke Harper or Eric Rowan. Especially Luke
that's
Harper.
what I mean. Like, you can have a weird gimmick like the Wyatts or anything, but it's the fact that Kane is just built physically a certain way that kind of.
And that's why I
makes
say
the
either
gimmick.
Harper or Rowan, because they've always pushed that Harper's like this machine of a monster-sized man. Like,
Oh, definitely. Even back in the Indies when it was Brody Lee, that's how they always sold him to other people.
yeah, and even if he stops being a mindless Wyatt, he still got that like weirdness to him that you could push.
Do you think in kind of backstage skits or whatever, they should start maybe not letting Harper and Rowan have stereotypical kind of promos, but just letting them trash talk a bit, sort of say things under their breath, just give them a little bit of kind of verbal character depth.
They do that a
that's
little
another
bit.
thing. Because remember when, like, this is pretty much a year ago now, geez, when the Wyatt's first debut, then you had all those vignettes for him. That
Harper and
first
Rowan talk like
vignette-
normal people, yeah.
Yeah, they talked pretty much more than they have throughout their entire career so far. Like, that first ever promo was the most they've ever spoken.
I mean, let's get... You talk about those promos. Let's have a couple of videos or backstage segments or something where we see the Wyatts in their environment, where they like to, I don't know, where they, like Mankind had his boiler room or whatever. Somewhere where they can be, and you just see them talking, or I don't know, like, or just show them back in the friggin' woods, in the huts or whatever. Just have a few things that kind of, because they've come to Raw and they're just these guys now that are touring with WWE. It's like, who are they again? Where are they from? What is
Yeah,
their...
that's the thing.
Yeah.
Like, they have a house out in the sticks. We saw it when that interviewer guy went to go and find them, and they have this guy in a room being brainwashed. It's like, well, hang on. Are we just never going to touch on that again? Like,
yeah.
I mean, is he still there?
I would like to see...
Obey. It's like, we need more of that.
I would like to see what kind of car they drive. I would like to see them on the road, travelling to each
Mustang.
event. Like, just some shitty car, and they, like, pick up hitchhikers and things like that.
Rowan's just driving and Harper
No,
like
Bray
tries to start a
Wyatt's
car.
driving. It's like that episode of The Simpsons where Bart goes on a road trip. And it's like,
Oh, it's
hey,
got...
Bray, can we stop for ice cream?
Yes.
It's got to
And then
be...
Rowan's just like, Bray, I gotta pee. Shut up, Eric.
It's got to be like Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas, where it's like an open-top car, but you've just got these giant two guys in the back.
The Wyatt Mobile.
They just get lost in a casino now because you said Vegas.
You know how, like, you have those cars that have, like, bull horns on the front? They just have, like, a sheep skull on the front. Or a buzzard or something.
Oh, they need their own horn that's like, we got the whole world.
We got the whole...
No, the horn just goes.
Cena's theme.
No, that was supposed to be the static shit. I don't know.
The derp bit.
Yeah. The horn just goes.
Derp, derp.
But
Uh,
that would be amazing if they did comedy skits with fucking Harper and Rowan in like a convertible and
Well,
just
the thing
sticking
is,
their
they're thinking of
beards out the
turning,
window.
yeah, they're thinking of turning like Bray Wyatt full babyface by the end of the year, according to certain reports.
God,
I've heard
it's
that,
like,
yeah.
like a dog sticking his head out the window. He's just like, yeah, 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 yeah.
Rowan sticks his head out the window, the sheet mesh just comes flying off, his beard's flying everywhere.
His head hits like a letterbox or something.
And the letterbox breaks more than his
Now
head.
we're just turning them both into Festus.
Oh,
It'd be great though.
Yeah, they don't seem to, like, in the Attitude Era, everybody was always in a backstage segment. They don't do that anymore. If they do, it's just a straight up interview. Like,
The most
I wanna see,
that Harper and Rowan have talked since actually debuting is during their feud with the Shield. There were a few promos where Bray would say what he has to say, and then the camera would pan up to Harper, and he would say something, and then it would pan over to Rowan, and he would say "run."
Yeah. I have no idea what they're going to do with Rowan at this point.
He needs
Like,
to get
fine where he is
better
now.
in the ring first.
Yeah, as soon as he does that, then give him a couple more things on the mic, maybe flesh him out a bit more, because right now he's the guy. He's just a guy, because you have Bray Wyatt, the leader, you have Luke Harper, the credible indie star. We know he does good in the ring. Rowan, he's just the other guy.
he's doing better than I imagined that he would do, but at the same time, like you said, they've just not given him anything to actually do.
Yeah. I think one of the best things about Harper and Rowan being number one contenders for the tag titles is letting them flesh out as a tag team and as individuals and let Bray Wyatt do stuff by himself. It'll be like with Ambrose and Reigns right now. They never stopped being friends. As far as we know, they could tag up again tomorrow. Same with the Wyatts. Bray does one thing, Harper and Rowan pursue something else. They're still in an alliance. It's just they're doing their own things.
I just hope
true.
if they start to talk, like, I have this feeling that their accents are just going to kill it. Like, either they're going to put on an accent that's not going to sound right, or they're just going to sound like they're from New York. And it's like, what?
No, because we've heard Harper and Rowan talk before. They can pull off that gimmick with their voices.
Yeah, they don't really need to take acting lessons. They're perfectly fine the way they are.
Yeah.
Even out of it, like, they could just have the same voices and be just monstrous guys.
Yeah. I think there's a good future for the three of those guys. I mean,
Oh,
obviously
definitely.
Bray Wyatt, but I think even Harper and Rowan are going to be fine.
Yeah.
What do we think about the breakup of 3MB? I mean,
Who gives
Hmm.
a fuck?
well, no.
Well, here's the thing.
They put so much
3MB.
effort into 3MB. They were actually over, even though they were jobbers. They were over jobbers, if you know what I mean.
Were they putting that much effort into it? I mean, they fired two of them.
No, but look how long they allowed the gimmick to kind of develop. It was something that worked. People reacted when they came out to the ring. I think there was more that they could have done with it, like, I don't know, record an album, do backstage things where they're like, I don't know, trying to party with Adam Rose, and Adam Rose is like, you're all dorks or whatever, but there was no need to get rid of them because they filled a perfectly fine position. Bottom of the tag division, people react to them, they can put over face tag teams. Like, why did they have to get rid of them? And if they're going to get rid of them, why is Heath Slater still there?
Dude, that beats me. Honestly.
Yeah. Like, you get rid of everything around the turd, but the turd is still there. It's
Yeah,
like,
now they're calling him
why
the
did you do
American
this?
rock star. It's like, well, at least acknowledge that he was in 3MB. Like, just call him 1MB or something stupid.
Yeah, Jinder and Drew went on to pursue something else.
Oh, you know what would be brilliant? If they just said backstage, you know, they had an interview with him and he's like, now I'm going solo. Like, I'm pursuing my solo career now or something.
Yeah, he's like Gary Barlow.
The artist formerly known as Slater. Fucking.
Comes out with, like, a purple jacket and like a saxophone.
That'd be amazing.
He has
I
a
do
Prince
think
gimmick
he's
now.
quite
Brilliant.
talented. Like, he's good at selling, and
Yeah.
he's fine
Yeah.
at being kind of the chicken shit heel that kind of is a coward. But, yeah, I don't know. Like, I thought 3MB was fine.
Honestly,
Yeah.
I was not happy that they were fired, but I'm so over it because fucking wrestling memes on Facebook ruined it for me.
Oh yeah, don't even. I had to unfollow them because fucking save us free MB, fucking free MB, free MB, free MB. It's
3MB
like, okay,
tribute
we
videos,
get it.
3MB
They were
tribute
good.
posts, 3MB
They were
this.
over, but fucking shut up. You know,
It was
just
terrible.
stop.
It
Just
was
stop what you're
terrible.
doing. Go back to being funny.
Please. We have TNA stuff to talk about.
Oh God, do we?
Fortunately, we do.
Well, just quickly, I think out of all the people that were released, I think Evan Bourne, Drew McIntyre. I think a good amount of them will have perfectly fine careers on the Indies.
Oh yeah. Oh, especially Evan Bourne. He'll just go back to Ring of Honor.
I mean, I'm not sure about Jinder Mahal and maybe Yoshitatsu. I guess he could always. I don't know. Do you know what I mean? Like, I don't know how to perceive him. Does he suck, or is he like this cool Japanese guy that can like fight strong style? Like, I don't know what his history is.
I don't either.
Oh.
Honestly, don't know shit about Yoshitatsu.
Either way, I think we need a moment of silence for the people who are now released.
I used to be Scottish, and then I joined
So fucking Slammiversary happened, guys, and I fucking hate it.
No, it's not as bad as you're making it out to be.
I heard some of the results. It's pretty stupid.
Watching it, like, I'm going to start with, TNA is TNA. Let's not forget that TNA is TNA. For TNA, it was a pretty solid show. I mean, they actually advertised it locally and did some things that got the audience involved. You had the whole Von Erich thing, which was pretty fun to watch, obviously, because in Dallas, the Von Erichs are a huge thing when World Class was around, so the audience were into that. The audience were into most of the matches. There was actually, a fair few people in the audience. I think it just generally made for a better show. I mean, it wasn't terrible TNA. We've got some pretty good matches. They're pretty enjoyable. The crowd were into it. It's, a couple of hours of my life. It was fine.
I mean, it might have been good by TNA standards, but even that's not that great. I mean, I can see what you're saying. There are definitely good points to it from an average pay-per-view standpoint, but there's so much wrong with it as well.
Main event.
The main event. Okay. Keelan, this is a question for you, and Carmine, this is a question for you. A steel cage match.
I'm familiar with these.
Yes. In a steel cage match, is it true that you normally win by exiting the cage?
Every time.
Okay, wait, there's 2 points to this. Because there's steel cage matches where you pin and you climb out the cage, and then there are stupid WWE steel cage matches where you're allowed to just walk out the door.
But
the point being, you win the match by leaving the cage.
Well,
in fact, there was a time, I specifically remember this, and it's always been debated whether this was a botch or not, but there was a steel cage match between Kane and Rob Van Dam where Kane picked up Rob Van Dam on his shoulders and ran him into the cage wall. The cage wall flew open, Van Dam fell out, hit the floor, and won the match.
Yeah, they've done that a lot, actually, in different matches. And didn't Lashley end up leaving that way?
Yeah, he did. Even in this pay-per-view, Lashley speared himself through the cage. Like, he was going to hit Eric Young with the spear. Eric Young moved, Lashley banged straight out the cage onto the floor. Did he win? No. The match went on, and Eric Young got a clean win over Austin Aries.
Well, I don't think it's a... I don't know, I don't think it's a massive deal, because as long as they said the rule is it's a pin, then...
But what cage match have you ever watched where you don't win by exiting the cage?
Loads of cage matches have been pin.
Yeah, they end in a pinfall, but you still had the option to leave the cage to win. I've never seen a cage match where exiting the cage doesn't give you the victory.
Well, okay, it was a bit of a... Like, they didn't have to do that match, but... I don't think it's a massive deal.
I mean, it's not even that. It's the fact that just Eric Young got a win over Austin Aries clean.
Well, I
Yeah.
admit that Eric Young should have never been the champion.
Yeah.
But it was a good match. I mean, I enjoyed watching it.
I just can't excuse that fucking cage thing.
No, that's bullshit. That's not even, like, one of the worst things about this pay-per-view. The other one being the Von Erichs. Not the fact that they were there. I like the Von Erichs. They've one of those great wrestling families, albeit one connected with tragedy, but that's beside the point. You have these guys debut. What are their names? I forget.
Ross and Marshall.
Ross and Marshall Von Erich. That's going to boost the TNA tag team division to 3 tag teams, which is good, because we need more than fucking 2 tag teams.
3.
Technically 4 if you count the menagerie, but still, that's fucking bullshit.
Do they count?
No. And then you have the beautiful people, but that's...
Crazy Steve was over. They were chanting Crazy Steve. That was
Yes, they were chanting, you mean Crazy Steve, because it's spelled with 2 Zs.
Oh god, I was sitting down and watching that pay-per-view, and when was it Tiger Uno or whoever came out, his entrance was so long.
Oh my god,
And I
do
was
you
like,
want to know
what's
why his
happening?
entrance
Yeah,
is
that's
so
what
long?
I'm saying, because
Yeah.
one of the fucking stilts guys fell off his stilts.
Fucking fell over. So fucking stupid. But anyway, fucking the Von Erichs. Okay, they're here now. That's good. TNA definitely needs another tag team. But they won by disqualification.
Yeah, it's stupid.
Yeah.
Why would you do that? Why would you fuck over a tag team when they debut by having them win by DQ?
It depends what they're doing with them, because even a bigger issue with them is that they're complete rookies. Like they're not good. Even if you watch the match, like they didn't know where they were in the ring. Like, I'm not pretending I'm a wrestler or anything, but by all accounts, they've had a few matches in Japan. They trained a little bit in a dojo. They don't have experience. So TNA have actually probably brought them in too early. So if this is just a one-time thing to get the Von Erich thing like over, then I guess it makes sense that it was a disqualification. But if they're keeping them around, yeah, I see what you mean.
I mean, I'd rather have them as a tag team there because they fucking need it. But yeah, at the same time, you don't make them a liability in the ring by giving them the potential to fuck over someone. I mean, your roster is fucking barren as it is. If one of them gets in a match with, say, fucking Bobby Roode, and he just breaks Bobby Roode's fucking arm or something, you're fucked.
Yep.
Like, you can't be a liability at that point when you have so few people on your roster that are actually over.
I think just talking to that, the fact that they don't have many people on their roster, I think what we're starting to see now is they're going to bring people for just a couple of nights, or for, bring someone into job, or like now they're going to the New York market, they're bringing in Tommy Dreamer to do something because they know they're going to get the ECW fans, because they always kind of turn out for the New York shows. So I think in that sense, at least in New York, it's a good thing that they're starting to understand that they're not this giant national promotion that can pull people in just because they've got Impact. They've got to start tailoring the product for each area. So they did the Von Erich thing, and we might actually see those guys again. But now they're in New York, they're bringing in Tommy Dreamer. Team 3D are in the Hall of Fame, so I'm guessing they're going to probably do something in New York. And we also got the announcement that the Hardys are getting back together, which I don't know whether that really matters in a New York sense. But yeah.
Fat Hardy's back.
Matt Hardy. How... Okay. Willow. That's the elephant in the room here. Willow.
That's the good thing about it, that hopefully Willow's going to fuck off and they're actually going to have the guy that makes the money and sells them fucking t-shirts.
Yeah, like fucking Matt Hardy just shows up and he can't find his brother. Instead, he just finds this fucking gay-ass Punisher Groot hybrid just standing there going,
Oh, hang on.
"We're in TNA, not Omega."
That's a point though.
What?
Who was Matt Hardy? Anyone strange when he was in Omega? They're not going to be like the
Pretty
strange
sure.
tag team.
Willow
he had a
and
bag on his head and had a weed whacker.
Willow and fucking Buffy or something like.
Willow and Oak, the Tree
Oak
Brothers.
I will not die, Timber.
Oh my God! He just hit the bark drop.
Stronger than bark. I don't give a
this is dumb.
shit. It's the Hardys. They're so past their prime. It's not even funny.
Like Jeff is pretending to be Willow. Matt Hardy
Can go
gets
fuck
into
off.
MMA fights with his girlfriend.
I'm not saying it's going to be great, but I still think from a promotion standpoint, there might still be something to having, say, a last Hardys versus Dudley's match or something like that.
Well, I wouldn't have it in TNA of all places. I mean,
Yeah.
I know it's never going to happen again in WWE, but
Yeah.
that's the kind of match that belongs there, not TNA.
It's the kind of match where it doesn't belong in TNA, so it just shouldn't happen.
Yeah, I mean, even if it happened in Ring of Honor, that would be fine.
Eh,
What? What air? What?
I don't know about that.
Well, what's the difference
Oh, yeah.
between doing it in Ring of Honor and TNA?
Ring of Honor's better.
Yeah, but I mean, like, at least all four of those guys have not great, but they have history in TNA. Only one of the four of them has anything to do with Ring of Honor.
I think Jeff Hardy went there once when he was a druggie and they booed him out of the building, if I remember
Oh, good,
rightly,
but-
Probably, yeah.
which is kind of funny.
But I don't give a fuck. I can't bring myself to care about the Hardys.
I mean, I wish I could. This is the sad thing. When I was but a wee Samuel Jr., I actually liked the Hardys. They
The
were
Hardys
one of my
used to be
favorite tag
amazing.
teams.
So
They
did the
used to be
Dudleys.
great, right until Jeff did the thing, and then Matt did the other thing, and they both became weird
Jokes.
college dropout jokes that eat grapes and have their houses burnt down.
I love.
No, they're meth labs.
Stronger than grapes.
Oh yeah.
But
I can peel a potato.
But again, you have to put it in the TNA context. It's TNA. Like, there's plenty of indie feds that would love to sign Jeff Hardy and Matt Hardy because they're still people that certain fans want to go and see. Like, it's just... I'm not going to say, oh my god, this is amazing, 5-star match. I don't want to particularly see it, but if you're running a business, then, I mean, you just got to deal with what hands you've been dealt, haven't you? Like, what else are they going to do?
I don't know, push
Yeah.
Bobby Roode or Austin Aries. That's just me, though. I'm crazy
Yeah.
like that.
Do you know what I think it is? Do you know what I think it is that the title's on? I forgot his name. Fucking Daniel
Eric
Bryan,
Young?
Eric Young, is because they keep having all these contracts come up. I think they're worried that they're just going to put a title on somebody that's going to go in a couple of months. Like, I don't think their roster's secure enough for them to say, Bobby Roode, you're the champion, because he might just go and his contract might expire.
Didn't they let his contract expire anyway, and they forgot to re-sign him?
Yeah, if the dude stuck around
Yeah.
through that, I think he'll put up with
What
being
a
your
bullshit.
champion.
That's so fucking dumb.
What
I
is
can't
with
believe
Kurt
that.
Angle?
He's
Dude,
crazy.
There's something. There's some, like, I know he went to rehab for alcohol. Okay,
Yes.
but when he comes out to the ring, I know he's got a bad leg. That's fine. But that guy he's on medication. He's on something. His brain's been fried. He's just not quite present.
It's
There's
like in
something
Alien
wrong with
3 with all of the tiny little Ripleys, and they're just like, kill me. That's kind of what he's like right now. He's just like, he's being forced out there, and he's just like, I am an Olympic, gold medal, the pain of it all.
Yeah, there's
Medalist.
nothing. There's no light. Like, go back to watching him in WWE. There's so much fire in the way he carried himself on the mic, the way he carried himself in the ring. In TNA, he's just kind of... There's something wrong with him.
Yeah, I think it's probably because
like
it's
when he's in the
TNA.
ring, he can still turn it on, but I don't know. He's just getting old
Would
and
be crazy
in
enough
pain.
to say, but it's a poisonous environment.
I wouldn't doubt it. I mean, look at the fucking people who have gone there, fallen apart, and just are still falling apart.
Or the
At
people,
TNA,
or the people
you
like
may enter
Black
a
Rain.
whole person, but you'll leave with half of your spine broken. Whoops,
Look
sorry.
at Booker T, Ric Flair, Kevin Nash, Sting.
None of them
Everyone
have
who's
ever
gone
been
in
the same.
there and just crumbled.
I think the only success story is Goldust.
Yeah, when he was Black Rain.
Yeah, when he went,
That's success.
got super fat, was addicted to drugs, carried around a rat, and now he's like a luchador or something.
Yeah, but that's not a TNA success story. That's a surviving TNA
Yeah.
success story.
That's a Survivor success story,
I'm a
period.
TNA survivor, says Goldust.
Oh god.
Hi, Goldust.
Hi, my name is
Like-
Goldust, and I was in TNA for how many fucking years?
Part of
Hi,
me looks at
Goldust.
people like Bobby Roode and Austin Aries and even the Wolves and people, and it's like, actually, I wish you'd have gone to WWE or you'd have gone back to Ring of Honor where you could actually, like, I don't know, be respected.
Yes!
This is the thing. The Wolves, they were on NXT for an episode, but one of them, I think it was Davey Richards,
Doesn't want
says
to
he
work with WWE.
doesn't want to work with them anyway. It's like, okay, so you're going to go and work for a company where you could very well be injured and released without compensation. You could very well be fucked over for literally no reason other than Eric Young needs a push, sorry, or fucking whatever else. But you won't go to a place that has a performance center, pretty good contract security. Well,
Think
aside
about
from
it.
releases,
How many indie
but-
people have gone to WWE and truly just fucking failed? Chris Hero and Colt Cabana.
Yep.
I think the thing
Karma.
with Davey Richards is that they didn't want him, so he just explained it away that he didn't want them, and because he fell out with Ring of Honor, then TNA is his only option, so he's going to make the best of it and just say, "Oh, I wanted to go to TNA, really, guys."
But I mean, look
That
at
doesn't
the...
explain why Eddie Edwards is with him.
Yeah,
well, he's probably
Why wasn't he just staying?
because they're more valuable as a tag team.
I guess. It's still bullshit, though.
The Wolves as a unit are more valuable than Davey Richards or Eddie Edwards. Because they're fucking great!
Yeah.
Just go to
Yeah, you put it that
WWE,
way,
you
yeah.
stupid asshole! Because TNA's just gonna fuck you over. Look at Joey Ryan and Jigsaw and fucking all those other indie people.
Poor Joey Ryan.
Yeah, they
Fucking
always have
nuts.
a really, really poor, like, again, I'm not going to pretend I'm the expert or whatever, but they seem to have the worst eye for talent. They don't keep the right people.
And they keep the worst.
They really do. Like,
They could have
okay,
had Adam
we're gonna
Pearce.
keep
Fuck's-
Crazy Steve. We're gonna keep Crazy Steve to a contract because menagerie, bullshit.
Yeah. And Eric Young.
Woo!
Bah, 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 bah. No one gives a shit.
Champion with a jobber theme.
Who out of the releases from WWE would you be pretty happy or, I don't know, surprised, or like if they just showed up? Like, do you think Drew McIntyre would show up and be like a main event?
My guy Taz, what's the two-man symphony doing in the Impact Zone?
Who's Shrew Gatintire? What's he doing in the Impact Zone? And who's this
Oh,
Rinder
no.
Gabal?
He would never be able to go to TNA because they have his ex-wife.
They do?
That's true. They have Tiffany.
Oh.
His actual answer, I'd be surprised if Kurt Hawkins or Brodus Clay showed up there.
Maybe Kurt Hawkins, I don't know.
They're the kind of people I would actually expect to show up because they're not the indie, look at me, I can fly around and do shit.
JTG, maybe.
I'm better than TNA, that kind of thing. Yeah, those are the most realistic.
My God,
things,
Taz, what's GTA doing in the Impact Zone?
Yeah, well, maybe
GTA.
someone like Aksana. Like, I think some of the female indie promotions are more about people that get it done in the ring. Where I think TNA might just think, oh, she's
a former WWE star. Let's take her.
Well, she was a bodybuilder at one point, so we're probably going to play off that and give her the bodybuilder gimmick.
She's the new Lady Tappa.
Oh God.
Yeah. Oh God.
She has muscle.
What happened to
She
friggin'
has tall.
Alpha Female? She was perfect, and they gave her one match.
Yeah. Fuck
She's
it.
already not there anymore.
Yeah.
Great. See what I mean?
Fucking-
She would have been
TNA
great as well. She was for like a week. Chris Sabin's kind of Diesel to Shawn Michaels.
That's awesome.
And then Chris Sabin left. Ha.
Like China.
Oh my God, everyone's left.
Wait, Chris
No one.
Sabin left?
Yeah, Chris Sabin left ages ago, dude.
Ugh, God, they're so
Remember,
fucked.
hey, remember that time when Chris Sabin was world champion
Oh, for like a
and
day?
he beat Bully Ray? That lasted.
You know who I am. Yes, go away.
Oh no, sorry, you're Bully Ray.
You liked who you were better in the other company.
Wear glasses and put people through tables.
Oh no, I actually think he's pretty good though. He's a good heel. He's a legit heel. Like, he doesn't mind actually pissing people off in real life. And
It's not even a heel anymore.
Yeah, he's a face now.
Yeah, he's feuding with Dixie.
Because that's a thing.
Mega heel.
Anyway, can we go back to WWE? Because their logo's changing.
yeah,
Their
the
logo is changing,
logo.
and that is the thing.
It's going to the super straight edge cyber looking W.
Yeah, basically they issued a memo to like all their DVD outlets and merchandise people, and they're basically on August 18th, the day after SummerSlam, is the official switch over to the new network logo on everything, and it's already on the corporate jet. It's on a few bits of merchandise here and there, but yeah, we're getting a new logo by the looks of it.
Man.
And here's the thing. Some people may not be too happy about this, but I'm actually pretty excited for this. Because
I mean-
it's the end of an era.
Yeah, I'm not upset about that part. I'm not crazy about the new logo.
Well, no, but you gotta think of it like this. It's a new thing. It's the end of the era with the John Cena's and the Randy Ortons and the old guys now who aren't being pushed too much.
It's the
now
symbolic end
the
of it.
symbolic end of it, and you have the new guys. You have the Shield, Daniel Bryan, the Wyatts, NXT, the whole of NXT, and it's kind of like a bright future almost.
Here's
with a
one
really
way they
bad
can
logo.
really nail it with this changing of the logo thing. If they want
Hammer
to,
it.
if they want to symbolize that this is the end of an era and the start of a new one, something they can really do to bring it home is the day after SummerSlam, either the Ascension or Sami Zayn debuts,
I agree.
or both.
How would you debut Sami Zayn? Because to
In
me,
a feud with Cesaro.
to me, he's not. There's nothing remarkable about him in terms of if his music hit.
No,
He's not got a dance. He's not.
No.
He's not mysterious. He's just a guy that's going to show up. Like, how would they do it?
and attack Cesaro.
Well, I guess if you did something like that, but
Because Michael Cole can explain, because like they don't pretend NXT doesn't happen. They can explain like, oh, these guys had a great feud on NXT. I guess they're continuing it here. There you go. That's your thing. He's here now.
That's one way you can do it, and that's probably the most sensible way because it's a proven thing just how good those two work together.
Oh yeah.
That 2 out of 3 falls match, one of the best matches of the entire year.
NXT Arrival was phenomenal.
Incredible.
here's another
These
viewpoint
two,
though.
They work.
Would that be a step down for Cesaro to be
Nope.
fighting this new
Nope.
guy?
It
Nope.
would be a step up for Sami Zayn.
People said that from the beginning when he went back to NXT to feud with him, but it turned out to be the greatest thing he's done so far.
And you wouldn't really a step down from what?
Yeah, he's not really
being in the
elevated
main
that
title
much.
picture. He's not really there. He's not the main event guy. He's the upper mid card guy.
And trust me, no matter who wins or loses in that feud, both guys will look great.
Exactly.
Because Sami Zayn lost, I think, every match they had.
yeah,
And he looks phenomenal because of it.
And you got to think, there's nothing holding Sami Zayn down in NXT either, because the number one contender for the title is Tyler Breeze against Adrian Neville.
He's
He
got
hasn't
nothing
got
going
anything going on, so now is more of a perfect time than ever to just really train him hard, get him ready, call him up, put him in a feud with Cesaro.
Yep. As for the Ascension, I would debut them against the Wyatts.
Or have them debut like they did with the Wyatts, with vignettes, and
Well,
just
yeah,
have
yeah.
them come out
Give them vignettes, get people hyped.
against
But
the Wyatts.
they come out-
interrupt the Wyatts.
Yeah, the first thing they do is interrupt the Wyatts and attack Harper and Rowan, who by that point will probably be tag team champions.
Yes.
So who's the face and who's the heel?
The Ascension are
The
faces.
Wyatts are the face. What?
What? Really? I thought the Ascension were faces because they get cheered everywhere they go.
It
don't
doesn't
know-
matter if you're cheered or you're booed. You're either a face or a heel. And anyway, the Wyatts are going to be over anyway, so they're probably going to be the... it doesn't...
Actually, I don't know
doesn't matter.
if I would like them debuting against the Wyatts, because the Wyatts are such an unstoppable force,
But
and the Ascension would have to somehow get one up over on them straight away, and I don't think that looks good for the Wyatts. I'd
All
rather
right.
have them debut and decimate like the Usos or someone.
I guess, but at the same time, the Wyatts, they've lost before.
yeah,
They've come out underneath certain scenarios with the Shield, or even John Cena, as much as I hate to say it, they've come out as not looking too good.
yeah.
They've proven that they can adapt in that kind of way, so if the Ascension were to come out, I believe, as heels against the over Wyatts, then that'll be fine.
Sure.
They'll make an impact, and then they'll just do
They'll
it
cross
from
the
there.
line, they'll make an impact, they'll...
They'll have an explosion.
Looks like I done crossed the line. But
TNA. Ah!
yeah, Brooks was right. It really doesn't matter who's the face and who's the heel in that feud.
Yeah, because they're both going to get cheered or booed anyway. Either way, they're both their own self-contained characters.
It's gonna be. I mean, it's not gonna be at that level, but it's gonna be kind of like the Shield versus the Wyatts, where it was like, it doesn't matter who's the good guy here. It's just a cool fight.
Yeah, it's a cool fight.
What do we
But
think?
like I say,
I think we discussed this before, but there's a lot of talk online. There's a lot of old timers kind of chirping in about it as well. The whole face and heel problem in WWE. Is it a problem? Is it not a problem?
What is the problem?
Well,
yeah.
the argument is that people are heels when they're not doing anything bad. People are it's a strange mixture, and I've simplified it in my own mind that the people that are cheered are simply, doesn't mean they're good or bad in terms of ethics. They're just people that are likable, and then
Yes.
there's people that are unlikable because they're corporate stooges. They're bland. Like,
Exactly.
you don't
It's
have
a
to call
judge
it
of
face and
character.
you don't have to call it face or heel. Doesn't mean good or bad. Just means likable and unlikable. You know, he's a corporate prick. He's just this guy that's worked hard, and we like him. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like you can even have different levels of corporate. You can have fucking the Triple H, the Authority as definitely heels, but they're still corporate. Or you can have the general managers of the past who have been faces, quote unquote, but we still hate them because it's fucking corporate. So
Or you could have the wrestlers like Seth Rollins who just say, fuck you guys. I'm gonna work with the corporate guys.
and also
That's an easy-
when I say corporate, I also mean people like Sheamus who are they're how do you put it?
Manufactured.
Yeah, manufactured, unconvincing good guys. They're insincere is probably the way you'd put it. I see John Cena as a phony. He's not a real good guy.
Phony.
He
You're a
just
phony.
he just follows the plan. He's like, he takes the girl out on a date, he opens the doors, he's doing all the shit, but actually he just wants to bang her.
Going through all the motions.
Yeah,
yeah.
and that's how I see Sheamus. That's how I see Cena. Just
Except
all those.
instead of banging a girl, it's the WWE title. You open the
Right.
doors for it. You put your coat over the puddles so
He does
you can climb the ladder
interviews,
and
he does
grab the
Make-A-Wish.
briefcase. Ah.
He wheels around those Make-A-Wish kids, but all he really wants to do is bang that title.
Just gonna give me the belt so hard.
I think that's a bit harsh. I think he genuinely has compassion for dying children.
I hope so.
I don't think that's a thing to get himself pushed.
I hope he's not just wheelchairing a kid around going, dude, I'm going to get the belt for this. This is great.
Now, you see, kid, that's the WWE title.
Now,
That's why I'm here today. I want to look at that and see, wow, you really want me to have that title, don't you, Sean?
No.
That's how Cena
I really want you to have that title, John. I want you to have a title. Yeah, that's good. That's good, Sean. That's the way they need you to think.
Listen, Jimmy. Tommy.
Exactly.
I need you to look at that camera and smile real big so I can get that belt. You want me to have that belt, don't you?
You've just booked his heel turn.
Yes,
You want to be cured of your terminal illness, right? Yeah. Then you're going to have to wish for that WWE title to come on me. So, John, when you win the WWE title at SummerSlam, will that mean I get better? Yes. Yeah, sure. Yeah. Wear my shirt. Have my wristbands.
The wristbands will stop your disease.
Go get me a beer.
Horrible people.
It's now quiet.
But I want you to do things with me. No, that's not how this works.
Can you sign my wristband? Only if you take 3 more pictures for the website.
Then his mum walks in, the kid's mum walks in and he's like, oh, powerbomb.
Dude, that should be how they turn him heel. That's amazing.
Oh, fucking
That's what
terminally ill
Bray
kids.
Wyatt needs to expose. He needs a hidden camera.
Yes!
At least that's what Bray Wyatt needs to do. He just
That's
needs to, like,
Bray Wyatt's face turn and Cena's heel turn all in one
Bray
package.
Wyatt just does things for Make-A-Wish kids. How the fuck would that work?
God.
He just has a kid and he's like, "No, Timmy.
Yeah.
What I
No,
need
I just
you to do
imagine
is
that
I
he
need
needs
you
to do it
follow
He needs
the
to do it
medicine."
really sincerely, but really cluelessly, like, I don't know, taking the kid hunting or just saying.
No, I just imagine like Cena doing all these scumbag things, and then Harper's like on a bench in a trench coat with sunglasses and a big hat, and he's just got a camera just filming the whole thing. And then Rowan's right next to him with a big old newspaper.
with eye holes in the newspaper.
Or you just see the sheep head like poking out a bush.
It's like, John, why is a sheep reading a newspaper? That's nothing, Timmy. Oh my god, what the fuck are we talking
This
about?
is amazing.
They're making WWE lots of money.
Yes.
I think I know, like, we've run out of news now, because this is when it usually happens.
Yeah.
Like, we run out of news and we talk about John Cena using dying children to get the WWE title.
It's Russo foot. It always emerges.
At the very end.
We have
we
one more
actually
thing
run
to
out
talk
of
about.
And then Seth Rollins comes out of nowhere and hits one of the terminally ill kids with a chair.
That's a reference to the new off-year that'll be out next week.
Just imagine the video package, the hype video package. It would be like Connor the Crusher, but right at the end. Then
Take time to be a dad today.
Oh no.
Oh no. Have we got more things to talk
Why
about?
did you have to say Connor the Crusher? That's so bad.
Anyway, the Suplah is going live.
We're going live. When are we going live, Carmine Antonelli?
Next Wednesday at 8 p.m. GMT, 3 p.m. Eastern Time.
And what else are we doing, Keelan Balderson?
God, we rehearsed this one well, didn't we? We can all remember what we're doing now. I'm giving away a t-shirt. Speaking of John Cena, because everybody loves John Cena, I have a t-shirt here.
Especially the kids.
It's the neon sign kind of design, and it says "Never give up, hustle, loyalty, respect" on the front with a really retarded looking John Cena cartoon figure of Cena, and on the back it says "You can't see me." And if you're a small man and you live in England,
You just have to throw that in there, don't you?
well, that's the
Yes,
size.
yes.
You don't want to buy.
Why
it
not
for
just say
fat.
it's a size small
Yeah,
shirt?
if you're
Why
a size
just say
small.
if you're a small man?
If you're a tiny person.
But
you're
not
a
as
child.
small, not as
Child.
small as Andy, but yeah,
If you're
whatever.
a terminally ill child and you want this shirt. I can't.
Basically, I'm giving it away to people that live in England because I'm too tight to ship it to America. So, what you want
And how
to
do you win this shirt? you want to call in to the Suplah show using the Skype name The Suplah. And what we'll do is we'll pick a winner at random. If you give us an interesting enough question to talk about on the show, you could win a shirt.
Yeah.
If you're small enough.
So call in with interesting questions. I think we forgot to say that this is on livestream.com/thesuplah.
Yep.
And like I said, it's next Wednesday at 8 p.m. or 3 p.m., depending on where you live.
And it's going to be a whole lot of fun.
Yeah, it'll be great.
And if you're a long-time Suplah fan, you have to remember that we used to do this before, so just fall back into that routine and jobs are good.
Yeah.
It's all great.
It's unedited, so it'll be a bunch of nonsense.
Yep, just like fucking the dying kid paradigm.
I can't get over that.
And because we're accepting calls, it's also going to probably be full of trolls. So that should be
just to make clear, none of us are called Dave.
Yeah.
And just to make clear, you can't ring us. We will ring you when you want to come on the air.
Yeah.
Yeah. Don't call us. We'll call you. We'll call you.
Our people will call your people.
Yeah. It'll all be sorted.
I think that's it.
Yeah,
so that was a very good, promo for the live show. Well done, guys.
Just add a few woos in there. Woo! Woo!
Do a long woo for us.
Woo!
Sweet.
There we go.
I was going to elbow drop my jacket, but...
Elbow drop the Cena shirt.
Oh, hang on.
Oh, he's doing it.
So there. We're going to be elbow dropping jackets in sheds. We're going to be wooing. We're going to be taking calls.
And if you're not there, then you're simply SAWFT Brooks.
Soft!
How you doing?